Well, there's been a breakthrough in the car break-ins cases that have been plaguing the entire St. Louis area.
Yeah, the suspects seem to be looking for guns to steal above all else. Here's Fox News' Andy Banker with that story, new at 10.
It's as easy as the tap of a $10 hammer that's made for shattering glass. Berkeley's police chief says this one came from a car break-in suspect.
It's quick, it's fast, it's easy. They have so many tools out here, so many tools you can buy on Amazon to break in a car. It's almost mind-boggling.
After hundreds of shattered windows across the St. Louis region in both Missouri and Illinois, an alleged thief has been jailed. 20-year-old Tyshawn Wardlaw of North County is accused of breaking into more than a dozen vehicles at an air cargo delivery center in Berkeley near Lambert Airport in October. He faces 19 felony counts. Police say they found him with 4 guns stolen from the vehicles. His bond is set at $250,000.
We've made a point that we're going to be aggressive on these cases, and this is an example of that.
If you want to carry a gun, you get some type of locking mechanism in your vehicle to secure it properly.
This handgun, for instance, is worth $400 or $500, and if you're going to leave something like this in your car, maybe your wallet, cell phone, jewelry, why not lock them up where no one can steal them, even if they break your windows?
There's lots of places that you go that you can't take your firearm in, and you want to respect the laws. You have to leave it in your car, and the criminals know that.
Jim McGarry of Classic Arms of St. Louis recommends lock boxes to gun buyers. This one costs $46. It can be secured to your vehicle by cable or bolted down. It's also TSA approved for air travel.
You spend, $600 to $1,000 to $1,200 to $2,000 on a handgun. $40, $50 is nothing compared to a $1,200 gun.
Individuals making smart decisions, not leaving stuff in their car, that's our first line of defense. Almost game planning it in the sense of, okay, what's in my car, and assuming that if I leave it, it's going to be gone.
And if you have to leave it, lock it. Andy Banker, Fox 2 News.
First on Fox, investigators confirm a doorbell camera may help them figure out what caused a deadly plane crash in St. Charles County.
That camera captured the sound of the flight's final moments. Fox News' Andy Banker has that and also shows us the flight path in a story that's all new at 10.
The airplane, after it took off, climbed to 8,000 feet on a westerly heading. Then it began a turn to the left, back towards the east with a descent. The airplane impacted into a forested area. It was rural at a high airspeed.
He says the plane had no black box data or cockpit voice recorders. NTSB and FAA investigators will reconstruct what little is left of the engines, propellers, and avionics of the 1981 Beechcraft Baron twin-engine plane. FlightAware shared its flight tracking with Fox 2. It shows the plane taking off as 2 small bands of precipitation approached Spirit of St. Louis Airport at 7:10 Saturday night. The plane then turned back with the flight ending at 7:19, the time of the crash. The pilot's communications with air traffic control were limited.
There was not a distress call. There are some communications that we're assessing that give the impression that potentially there was an issue.
There's another thing investigators are considering. Audio from a surveillance camera from this neighborhood of new homes about a third of a mile from the crash site. You can hear the plane going down.
Sound spectrum analysis completed on the doorbell video.
Investigators identified the pilots as 55-year-old George King and 35-year-old Amanda Youngblood of Ohio, flying for a company called AirNet 2 out of Columbus. Its website says the company specializes in dangerous cargo. The plane was empty. The experienced pilots were certified for instrument flying in inclement weather. They were headed to Denver for a pickup and return to St. Louis. The plane made the same flight 6 days earlier. And though investigators say icing was not a factor, weather still may have been. It certainly hampered the search for the wreckage.
The weather was bad. It is very hilly terrain. It was off the roadway.
We're looking to try to prevent the next tragedy.
The NTSB will issue a preliminary report within 2 weeks. Andy Banker, Fox 2 News.
Well, the Rockwood